been able to figure out how the DNA molecule looks in detail.
You think they'll ever see what those units look like?
Well, they're getting warm. The road they're taking is leading them close to the secret of life itself.
It's obvious when you look at reality that there is intelligent design beyond comprehension everywhere. Things that have to work accordingly for all life to exist. Water rising and falling. Trees and plants producing what we need. The autotrophic, heterotrophic relationships that have to be in place for all of us to function as we do. All the things we take for granted, cell division, stem cells, reproductive cells being made automatically. It's so mind-blowingly complex. So how is it that scientists have successfully been able to hide the breath of life? Would they all have to be in on it? And the simple answer for that is no, they wouldn't have to all be in on it. But what I have noticed as I'm speaking and teaching biology is that we use the same tactics that they used to hide the truth about what we live on. They use all sorts of fancy animations to show us what they say is going on this beyond microscopic level, things we have never seen. Most of you, like me, probably thought we had a really crisp and clear picture of the double helix by now. It's been decades since they discovered the shape of it. However, the clearest photos we have of this stuff look something like this. When you go on a scavenger hunt trying to find this stuff, this is what you find. And the reason we'll never see it is because we can't. And we hide it with animations and really good pictures that are constantly surfacing, the state-of-the-art technology like this one here. And it says, when you look in the fine print, made with data sets. An artist literally took data and drew this. This is what they say would have to be in your cell with all these different parts carrying out their own little functions for cell division to happen, for you to have energy, absorb oxygen and use it. All of these things require these organelles to work and function together, and these things are doing things that are so complex they would have to have these giant brains to do so. And look at these little things. It looks like confetti spilled according to their animation. We haven't seen this ever with the human eye. Certain parts of the cell you can see the nucleus, the chromosomes, but all of this extra little bits and pieces, almost impossible to see any of it. That's why they require animators. Just like the world that we live on. You can't get high enough to photograph all of it. We need animators, like Mr. Blue Marble said. But even things like cell division, we teach that. I'm currently teaching that right now, where you have all of your genetic material lining up in the center of the cell. I can't even get my students to line up in single file line sometimes, but all on its own, with a force from the breath of life guiding them, these chromosomes line up perfectly in the center of the cell in these microtubules, more impressive than Spider-Man because of the precision they have shooting out from these centrioles to the chromosomes, pulling them apart. If you've ever tried casting out a line on a fishing pole and hitting a target, that's essentially what these things are doing, and they do not miss. For your body to heal and grow new cells and for you to get larger, that's what happens. But before that happens, the DNA has to replicate or copy. Scientists like to use big words and make it sound fancy. But that's all it's doing is making copies, and this stuff can be seen. You can't hide that. This can be seen in real time. Time-lapse photography, you can watch this stuff happen, and it is proof of the breath of life in motion. But it's animations like this that take away from the truth about what's really going on within each of our bodies, this breath of life that we cannot replicate. Scientists could take all of the ingredients to the cell and try to piece it together, and they could never make a cell do anything remotely close to what our cells are doing. The division, the single-celled organisms we were when we started out as a fertilized egg, becoming what we are today, it's impossible. We cannot create life even if we have the ingredients and the smartest, brightest scientist in the world. We cannot do it. The breath of life is required. It's obvious, it's proven time and time again. You can modify life, that's what these alchemists are doing, but you cannot zoom in far enough to see the truth, because if you could, it would be a giveaway that the breath of life is responsible for what it has created, and that is life itself. And the ability to zoom in on this breath of life is what is changing the way I see reality, because you can actually look and watch these things in motion. This is a plant producing oxygen. It is alive. It has the breath of life within it, just like we do, but its task is different. It is the opposite of what our cells do. We take what these things make on every level, from the oxygen, the sugars, the energy, and you could watch them produce oxygen. It's really cool. I'll leave this linked in the description for you. But this looks alive, and when I look at it, I don't see little chloroplasts doing random animated things. They have a job to do, and it looks more like ants in an ant farm carrying out a specific purpose, because that is exactly what they're doing. And here you see cell division happening, and it's not like mitosis. This is totally different, something we cannot comprehend. Look at this taking shape, this embryo forming into what it's going to become, just like we did. This is a salamander. But when you look closely at how exact and symmetrical this thing is becoming and see the guiding force within, I don't know about you guys, but right there is the breath of life at work. You can see it taking shape before your eyes over time. It's not random. That one cell had all of the instructions needed to become the many different types of cells, heart cells, lung cells, skin cells, all of the different cells to make up a living organism was encoded and created into that fertilized egg when it merged, with the sperm and the egg merged. We can't replicate that whatsoever on any scale, and it's proof of that breath of life, that intelligent design, that no matter how hard we try, we cannot see it. We'll never be able to see it. If someone has seen it, they are hiding it, because it reveals the Creator's handiwork. Just like the firmament above us, this stuff is right in front of our eyes, and it's been hidden with crafty animations, people acting like we have it all figured out. We don't. We can alter life. We can never create life. There is only one Creator, and He has made you, and you are His beloved creations. And it's something that is extremely important to see. Don't be blinded by the scientists. There are no common ancestors. We have a common artist, a common creator, and He's not going to change the types of bones He uses for His different creatures, because they work. You wouldn't start putting square tires on vehicles because round wheels, they work really well. We've been lied to about everything, and your teachers aren't lying when they talk about cell division and things like that, but the animation overload is put there to take the place of the breath of life. We see it, we think we have it figured out. We don't. We can talk about what's happening, but how it's happening, we're baffled. We don't know how it's happening, how these things are staying in motion, how our bodies are doing things without us even knowing it, how our white blood cells, like the one seen here, go on the attack as if they are ants defending their colony, as if they have their own little brains and they know these things. It's the breath of life. It's how they were designed, carrying out their function since creation. It's a beautiful thing, and I get obsessed with it sometimes. It's why I chose this field, because I can see the intelligent design. Not that I'm anything special. I've been blessed with a miracle that opened my eyes to the realness of our Father's love and His power, and that made me obsessed with creation. And my first journey into truth started with looking at evolution and how easy it is to watch it crumble and fall apart when you do some simple investigations. So prove all things. I just wanted to share that with you guys. It's something that's been on my heart because I see it every day, and it just dawned on me that they hide the breath of life the same way they hide the truth about creation. Only it's a little bit easier. They put it right in front of your face, just like they encourage people to get telescopes and look up. They want you to look up, but they want you to see their view of the world when you're looking up so that you don't see what's right in front of you. Same thing with the breath of life. They put you in front of a microscope. They want you to look at it, but then they want you to have animations and go, oh, okay, they have it all figured out. We don't. We never will until the Father reveals it to us one day, and we're going to be blown away even more than we are now. So, going to hopefully do some live hangouts and share everything. I'm tired of holding on to stuff. You guys have been asking for it, and I want to do it live so I can, for one, have a chance to hang out with you, and two, share all the resources we have for those of you who are new to this movement, so you'll know where to track down some good stuff that's still there among the many deleted truther accounts and channels. So stay safe, stay ready, and thanks for helping us spread the truth. See you soon.